Joe Biden isn't hungry. Kamala Harris isn't hungry. Raphael Warnock isn't hungry. Jon Ossoff isn't hungry. Schumer isn't hungry. Pelosi is rich as a mug with her ice cream and multiple millions, 100 millionaire. These people are not hungry. These people are not suffering. These people are not about to get evicted. These people aren't looking at their children who are hungry and desperate and destitute. They're not suffering, but you are. And you need this package. You need this money, and how dare they lie to you this way?
Electing John and the Reverend, you can make an immediate difference in your own lives, the lives of the people all across this country, because their election will put an end to the block in Washington on that $2,000 stimulus check. That money that will go out the door immediately. Tell people...
Okay, now you heard exactly what Joe Biden said down in Georgia. Okay, he said that if you vote for Reverend and Jon Ossoff, then the people of Georgia will get those $2,000 checks immediately. Not next week, not in January, not in February with taxes, and not maybe when we can negotiate and maybe we'll look at stuff in March, or even all the way into April. He said immediately. And so now the people of Georgia, the Democrats in Georgia and around the country, are incredibly upset and feel betrayed that old Joe might have lied. And they have launched the hashtag Biden lied, and it is trending on Twitter. So let's look at some of this stuff. And the Democrats have tried to cover for this, and they launched a little counter narrative themselves on Twitter. And this is what it said. YG in the future, put this up as you edit. It says, Democrats, POTUS will build on the $600 down payment provided by Congress. Hold on, the $600 down payment provided by Congress last year, sending an additional $1,400 to households across America, totaling direct payments of $2,000 per month. Now, we weren't talking about down payment. Joe wasn't talking about down payment. And the people of the Democrat Party in Georgia and other people are rightfully upset when they pushed back. And let's put some more stuff up here. This is from Mariah Parker. Now she says, I canvassed my behind off for y'all in Georgia, and you turn around and treat us like we're stupid. Okay, now this is a young lady who actively went out, probably knocked on doors, talked to everybody, sold the spiel that Joe Biden is going to be the man, and all you got to do is put Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff in office, and guess what? We going to get them $2,000 checks, but oh, pray tell, it isn't so, and Mariah is upset. Let's also look at another one from Ruthless Apollo, and he breaks it down, and he says this. Stimulus package in other countries, and he's talking directly to the Democrats. UK, 80% of worker salary. Okay. Denmark, 75% of worker salary. Netherlands, 90% of salary. Canada, $2,000 per month. Australia, $1,000 per month. Meanwhile, the richest country on earth weasels its way out of making a one-time $2,000 payment. So, and this is also with the hashtag Biden lied. So I want to say this. Democrats are rightfully upset, but this is what the people on the right, what conservatives has been saying for a long time, that you just cannot trust the Democrat Party because all they do is keep promising and promising and promising, like they've been doing for black people for 60 years, promising, and guess what? Nothing happens. Nothing. It seems like the Democrat Party once again used black people, BLM, and Antifa just to get power with all these promises, and just like they normally do, that's like they've dropped mostly Black Lives Matter. They kind of pushing away from them. They have really pushed away from Antifa, and they probably don't even take a lot of people's black people's phone calls. Ask Ice Cube. Remember that, you know, that platinum plan that Trump came out with, that $500 billion, and Ice Cube wanted to talk to both parties about how to enhance that, and traditional black media and a whole bunch of black people started dogging Ice Cube out, calling him a sellout for even wanting to work with Trump, and Trump was the only one to call him and say, hey, let's sit down and talk about this, and the Democrats said, nah, let's wait till after the election. Well, after the election has happened, and nobody has called Ice Cube yet, but like I'm saying, they always flake on their promises. They sell promises, but deliver failure. So let's look at this again from another tweet from DPRK Army Exports Team. And remember, these are not Trump supporters. These are diehard Democrats who voted for Joe Biden. And he says, this still sucks since it was supposed to be $2,000, but also it was supposed to be immediate. Also, it should be monthly like in other countries, but go on. And let's look at another one. Now, here's a conversation between Angel Damon 20, that's her name, and a guy named Jackson and a guy named Greg Crosby. And like I said, not Trump supporters, Democrats who voted for Joe Biden. And she says, build on a $600 down payment provided last year, laughing my behind off. Never voting Democrat again. You should feel embarrassed for yourselves. Okay, because Joe Biden did not say in his speech down payment. He did not say in his speech $1,400. He did not say in his speech we'll give you $600 and then we add the $1,400 to get the $2,000. He said no, it was $600 that had already been sent out, where most people got that, but then it was supposed to be an additional $2,000 if we voted for Reverend Warnock and Ossoff. And guess what? Where is Warnock and Ossoff on this? Silence. Nothing. They've gotten that power, and now they're sitting comfortable, pretty, making $180,000 a year salary with everything, all the perks and all the benefits, while you still broke, waiting on $2,000. But let's talk about this with Angel Damon and the responses she got from Jackson. Let's get back to this. Jackson says, you kind of people just don't get it. Let's take it a step by step. $2,000 stimulus minus $600 equals $1,400. See, that's how they try to kick it in. But then we got some pushback from Greg Crosby. He says, bro, nobody has a problem with the math. Everyone knows 2,000 with 6,000 equals 1,400. The issue is 600 was already passed and issued before this promise was made. The down payment was supposed to be in addition, not subtracted from the 2,000. So actually it's supposed to be $2,600 coming to the people. This is what was promised if you voted for Warnock and Ossoff. But as always, the Democrats promise everything and deliver nothing. So let's move on to Lefty Gamer Guy. And he says that F you think this means, talking to the other Democrats with this pushback, talking about the $1,400 crap. Here's the actual picture where it says vote Warnock. And it says $1,000 or $2,000 check, vote Warnock. So it seems like the Democrats were in the business of buying votes, trying to capitalize off of the suffering of the American people in order to gain power, because they knew they were not going to go through with what they were talking about, but yet they was gaslighting people and saying, hey, if you just vote for the Reverend and you vote for Ossoff, you will get this $2,000 check immediately. If you don't believe me, roll it again.
Electing John and the Reverend, you can make an immediate difference in your own lives, the lives of the people all across this country, because their election will put an end to the block in Washington on that $2,000 stimulus check. That money that will go out the door immediately. Tell people who are...
Now, I want to get back to this right here. So we got Chef Gaquan, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, and he says the same thing that Lefty Gamer Guy says. Where does this say $600 down payment plus $1,400? It says want a $2,000 check, vote Warnock. They are absolutely right. Okay, so we're going to get into even more of this because it's a whole lot of folks online saying these are Trump supporters posing as Democrats because the media wants to cover for Biden. And it's sad that we don't have true journalism in this country anymore, where people can just literally look at the facts and bring those facts to the people and let the people decide. But the media, especially the mainstream media, they run as cover for the Democrat Party, especially for Joe Biden, even when it's right here and obvious in everybody's face that they lied about this in order to get power. The media wants to cover for them. But let's jump back into this because the people, the Democrats, not the Republicans, the Democrats are speaking out against this because they are grade A upset with Biden and the Democrat Party. So we have Italian Space Laser. Here's another interaction. He says, you hotheads said there would be a $2,000 checks. This isn't hard. Stop effing this up. Okay, so then you got Ray who comes back and say $2,000 before the $1,400. Can you do basic math? The goalposts never stop shifting. And then Italian Space Laser replies the right way and says, can you read, showing the picture of, once again, $1,000 or $2,000 check, vote Warnock. It didn't say $600 plus the $1,400 later, plus we'll negotiate back and forth with other Democrats and Republicans, and maybe we'll have a plan for you guys with your taxes or with the additional stimulus bill, or we may look at it in March and we may even look at it in April. Once again, Warnock also collecting $180,000 salary, plus what they were already getting from Warnock from the church, from Ebenezer Baptist Church, his salary there, plus also his salary with his entertainment company. Just throw another $180,000 on top of that, already getting paid, already getting the benefits while you still broke, hungry, and looking for a $2,000 check. Let's move forward. Now, Iggy, this is really, really interesting. Iggy says, nothing was confusing. That's clearly a $2,000 check. You're trying to make this harder than it is. Plus, Kamala saying this after the $600 was already sent out, promising once again $2,000 check. So it's not just Joe Biden. It was Kamala Harris as well talking about this, that you're going to get $2,000 stimulus checks. So basically, let me break this down to you. Because we're going over and over and over again. And actually, let's YG in the future editing, throw up this picture right here of Beth showing Ossoff talking about the $2,000 checks. Boom, there it is. All right, so let's just stop. Let's just put Twitter down and let's talk reality. How much more do you need? I have so many friends who voted Democrat who honestly, they say, we hate your politics, YG, but we love you. And you have to just come back and embrace the Democrat Party and everything will be fine because they hated Trump. Okay, I understand. You didn't like Trump and you hate my politics. But tell me when I said to you that the Democrats are simply going to use this just to gain power because they know that people are hurting. And I said, it is a shame where a political party who has been in command of cities for all of these years, okay, and they see that their people, not just Republicans, but their own people have been suffering, and just to get power, just to get Donald Trump out of office, to get Joe Biden in, to push and force him in, they promise you everything and once again delivered nothing. Because let me tell you something, Joe Biden isn't hungry. Kamala Harris isn't hungry. Raphael Warnock isn't hungry. John Ossoff isn't hungry. Schumer isn't hungry. Pelosi is rich as a mug with her ice cream and multiple millions, 100 millionaire. These people are not hungry. These people are not suffering. These people are not about to get evicted. These people aren't looking at their children who are hungry and desperate and destitute. They're not suffering, but you are. And you need this package, you need this money, and how dare they lie to you this way just for power. So instead of having a short memory, you need to remember this, that you put people in power that lied to you. And yes, Republicans lie to. We are on the conservative side, we are dealing with rhinos, people in Republican in name only that sit here and try to promise us stuff and deliver nothing. Guess what? They got to go too. That's why we need term limits across the board to get rid of all of them and put right people in. And I would rather debate with an honest Democrat who loves the country as much as I do with just different ideas, but we can sit here and debate those ideas than deal with power-hungry, corrupt people that will do anything to destroy their enemies just to gain power while lying to the people. So, that being said, I love you. And we are going to continue to move forward together as Americans. And we're going to get this right. And we're going to get this right. But the first thing we got to do, you got to call out the BS on both sides. But you also have to be honest with yourself. And that's why your vote is so valuable. Look at what happened with all the kerfuffle of this entire election and why they wanted power so much and how your life is going to change, not for the better, but on the decline in the coming years. And that is why we need to hold on tight to each other, hold on tight to our faith, and keep moving forward, doing the right thing by putting the right people in office. So, if you love this video, please take time to share this video, hit a like, because you know all of my stuff gets censored. And you know, TubeYou and the Book of Face, they hate me speaking to you. I get censored to HE double hockey sticks. But love you. Take care. I'll see you next time. And God bless America. Mwah. Bye.